everyone, how you doing today? And welcome back to the Dropped in 3 podcast. That's crazy that I'm actually saying this because I dropped one episode and it completely dipped. How's everyone doing today? Now, I guess I should probably address the elephant in the room is the why was there one episode and no second and everything vanished. But to be honest with you, I've been weird with this podcast. I was a bit like, how do I explain this? Partly I procrastinated, that's the part reason. But another reason is because I was a bit like, I don't know, I was a bit like not really sure about the content I was about to produce on this content, on this podcast. I was in a weird period. So a lot happened there and all that, but I don't really want to get into issues. Either way, we're back now, and with this podcast, I think I'm not really going to go on a schedule for now because I just want to drop episodes. I just want to drop the podcast. When I get once I feel like I can put a consistent schedule, then I'll let everybody know that there'll be a consistent schedule. It'll probably be a once a week thing. It'll probably be maybe, I don't know yet about when I'm going to put that schedule. So I don't want to make any promises. So I'll let you know when that happens. But enough about that. Enough about talking about the podcast. Enough about that. Let's talk about One Piece. That's what this episode is all about. One Piece. One Piece Netflix. That's all we're going to talk about. So if you do not like One Piece, die. I'm joking. Everyone has the right to their own opinion. I'm just joking. It's just your opinion sucks. No, but seriously, but in all honesty, yeah. If you don't like One Piece or you're not interested in the One Piece Netflix stuff, come back for another episode. We're going to be talking about other things anime, and I will talk about mainly anime and I was going to say the anime sphere, but that's the wrong word. The anime community, that's the word. So we'll talk more about that in the future. So if you do not like One Piece, fine, ignore this episode, come back for the next one. So I mainly wanted to do this episode because I just wanted to talk about One Piece. This isn't really going to be a review. This is just going to be me just literally talking about what I like, what I don't like, etc. If you want to see a review, I'm going to have one, I'm going to record one, but it will be uploaded at the same time as this. So just check, right? I believe it's here for the review. And it'll be pretty short, probably a couple minutes. And just check it out. Let me know what you think. And that's where you'll see the score and all that. But today, we're going to talk about One Piece, Netflix. And to start with, when this thing was announced, I remember when it was announced, right? I know it was more rumored than announced. Because I think before Netflix officially said, we're working on it, it was like, oh, Netflix and Oda Oda was thinking of doing a live action One Piece. And I was like, really? Like, it's very hard, right? Already. Well, before the One Piece, you probably already know what I'm about to say now. But before One Piece Netflix came out, justifying live action anime is so hard because nearly all of them have been mid or trash. It's never been we're having a good time, they did their thing. It's always one or the other, especially with Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball Evolution. Even though this one is not anime, you could count Avatar The Last Airbender. Still waiting on what Netflix is going to do with that, because that one is we're still waiting on a judgment. That one, I'm still half and half on that. But as you can see, there's been a lot of failures, and my issue with the fact that it was going to be One Piece is because I get it, fine, we want to make anime work in live action. I get it. We're going to just keep on trying it until it works. We tried it with video games and now we've gotten into a good place, so they're probably going to do the same with anime. Now, my fear was that you're trying to adapt an anime into real life, fine, but you're adapting literally the most hardest and most complicated world in anime history. Like, I don't think you could actually name an anime that's harder to adapt than One Piece. I don't think you name one. Even Dragon Ball is easier to adapt than One Piece, because Dragon Ball, just give them Superman powers, put some weird alien stuff, and let's just have fun and fight. One Piece, right? The problem with One Piece is that One Piece is the weirdest looking characters, the most goofiest looking characters, in fact, right? With the most weirdest creative story in this crazy world. So we already knew you can't put this in film because the story is so dense that it's just impossible to put in film. To put this on TV needed ridiculous budget, and it needed a lot of work. So I won't lie, before the show came out, I wasn't hyped at all. I was just like, yo, whatever. I understand, Oda, this is your dream, and fine, because of you, I'll allow it, because it's Oda. Like, Oda's like, this is literally my dream. But I was very hesitant. I was very, very, very hesitant until I saw the casting video. That casting video sold me on this show. Because when I saw the casting video and I saw the Straw Hats, I couldn't believe it. And it was all 5 of them, yeah, but it was especially Inaki Godoy, who plays Luffy, because Luffy was the hardest one to cast. I said out of all the casts, you could probably get everybody else pretty much spot on. The only one I knew that was like impossible was Luffy. I was like, there's no way they're gonna cast Luffy. Even if you make One Piece in live action, how the hell are you gonna get someone to play Luffy? It's not possible. Then Inaki just shows on screen and I'm like, whoa, this is Luffy. Like, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, it's Luffy. Like, what is he? You're real. Like, it's crazy. And seeing the rest of the cast, especially even Emily Rudd, because Emily's like, oh my God, I love One Piece. I'm a big anime fan. And you just see through her, like, if you see through her history, you see all the anime loving. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. You see Makanyu. And Makanyu, you see what his work he's done before, especially with Rurouni Kenshin and his experience with swords, and you're like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this cast was just selling me. Every time I used to see the promotional material with this cast, I just kept on being sold and sold. It reached the point where I didn't even care if, like, I didn't care if One Piece was amazing or not. I was just praying that the show would not fail just for the cast. Just for the cast alone. Just for the cast. No, the cast and Oda, just for them too. And even the showrunners, because to an extent, right, the showrunners were also trying to convince me of this show, because the showrunners were clearly fans. It was clear as day that they were fans. So I was like, all right, the showrunners are fans. Oda's involved. The characters look literally like the Straw Hats. Surely this cannot fail, right? Surely. I'm happy to say it didn't fail at all, because One Piece is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's fantastic, I'd say. But you'll find out more about my review, and this is not what this is about, hence why I've gone on a long tangent about my worries. But One Piece is fantastic, man. And what I love the most, I mean, I'll go bit by bit about what makes this show great for me, but I'm shocked at how much I loved this adaptation, because when I came into the first episode, especially, the first episode starts, right, and I'm like, this is good. This is good. This is like good. Like, I can live with this. I can live with this for the rest of the whole series. But then we start getting into a bit of Inaki comes on screen, Luffy's on presence, and then we start getting into the Alvida Pirates. The Alvida Pirate stuff, even though it was good, I did start to have a little bit of a second, like, ooh, I don't know what's going to happen, because I was like, this is good, but I don't think this show is going to be that good. It's just going to be alright-ish, and because I'm a One Piece fan, I'm going to like it. It is what it is. But then we get towards, like, Zoro comes on screen, and that's when shit changed. That's when, like, granted, Inaki was doing a good job. I'm not going to disrespect Inaki. It wasn't Inaki's fault. It wasn't even any of the casting's fault for my first worry in the beginning. It was not even the writing. It's more the direction. It was like some of the direction I was just like, ooh, I don't know. But Zoro came in, oh my God. And we got that Mr. 7 fight, who, this is the first time, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, this is the first time we've ever seen Mr. 7. That is crazy that we got that in live action. Like, it's insane. But anyway, yes, Zoro comes on screen and Mac and you, man, Jesus. In fact, let's talk about the characters, because I think this is gonna blend with the characters, right? But actually, no, sorry, this is a bit off topic here. Sorry, guys, this is my second podcast back. Bear with me. So, yes, episode happens. Zoro comes on screen, and the episode from then on went from like a 6 to like an 8 straight away. Like, especially the ending, the final fights, which we'll talk about in a bit, and then the rest of the season. I think what I noticed was, every episode got better the longer you went along. Like, literally, it was a steady incline. There wasn't like a decline. It wasn't like a stop anywhere. It wasn't like, oh, this episode is not as good as the other. It was like, yo, every episode is getting better. I was shocked at that, because I wouldn't have thought that, they would be able to achieve that. In all honesty, I won't even lie to you, especially with how much I liked Baratier. And especially how much I like Arlong Park, actually. Arlong Park was because they condensed the living daylights out of that. So Arlong Park, I like that more than I thought it would. But Baratier, I flipping love Baratier, bro. I mean, I love Arlong, don't get twisted. Arlong was the best parts of the whole series. But Baratier, damn. Like, even Usopp's, like, even, what's his face? Not Orange Town, Syrup Village, sorry, yeah. Even Syrup Village was very Alice in Wonderland-y. I was like, yo, this is cool. So, yeah, every episode, I'll admit, they got better as it went along. But let's get on to we're gonna break this down, right? So let's start off with the Straw Hats. How much have I spent? 10 minutes. All right. I don't want to spend too long on this podcast. So start off with the Straw Hats. I've already talked about Inaki a bit. I already said that this is Luffy, and I agree. This is Luffy, especially for the whole series. It's Luffy. Well, it's live action Luffy, and I say that because I would say that probably the same for all these characters. They are ripped from the page, and they're in this screen, and they're in this show, but they're not like the same. The exact same characters as the show. They're ripped. They're basically like if you took One Piece, took all the personalities of the Straw Hats pirates and put them in a different in a more realistic version of the One Piece setting. That's how the characters fit, and I kind of like that. Like there was no out of the Straw Hats, there wasn't really a point where any of them I didn't believe that they were the Straw Hats. I always believed that they were their characters, which is crazy because I even have a little bit of nitpicks on some of them, but yeah, they did. They just made me believe the characters, and that's because I believe they just understood this. Well, granted, the actors are talented. Let's be real, the actors are talented. That's why, but also because I think they just understood the assignment. They understood what the characters were, and plus the casting director. The casting director deserves a massive, massive shout because they just got actors who can embody these characters pretty well. Like even when you see the interviews, you see bits of like, let's say Usopp and Jacob, you see bits of Sanji and Taz, like you see bits of these characters in these actors. So for that, the casting director deserves a raise. But anyway, getting to the Straw Hats like real quick, one by one. Inaki was really good. I liked him as Luffy. The only thing I would say, and this is not on Inaki, this is more on the directors, I would say, I think line delivery could have been a little bit better at points in the beginning. In towards the end, I was like, all right, do you know what? No complaints. But in the beginning, especially in the early parts of the beginning, I every time like in the beginning, Inaki was Luffy, but like there were times where like he would say something and I'll be like, all right, this makes sense, right? And you're doing a good job. But I feel like the director should have said, hey, do this a little bit different. And it's not really an Inaki thing actually. Actually, it's a general whole One Piece things. There are times where you would argue that line delivery should be better, and it's not on the actors. I genuinely don't think it's an actor thing. I genuinely think it's one of those where the director should have directed them to do it better. Because, my opinion, the actors were literally embodying the characters, and every time they did, they killed it. So I can't really say it's an actor thing. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even say it's an Inaki thing actually, because I was gonna say the same thing about Nami. I would say something about Zoro. I would say something about Usopp, even Sanji at times. Even though Sanji, to me, Sanji was the best, right, out of all five in terms of that nitpick that I had. Even in terms of acting, I thought Taz was the best actor out of all of them. Granted, who knows what will happen in the future? Like you never know. But yeah, that was my only nitpick I'd say in terms of like acting per se. But if that's the only nitpick out of flipping live action One Piece, what nitpick is there? You know what I mean? Like, how small is that nitpick? It's not even like a criticism. It's a nitpick. Like, it's not that deep. Like, it didn't ruin my experience of the show. It's just something where I'm like, how do we turn this from an 8 to a 9? Like, that's basically it. That, and I would say another thing is, but granted, I can't really blame them because this is basically the result of turning an 1,000 episode series into CV, right? Or the arcs was like literally like what, like 50 episodes or so? No. This arc was, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Baratie I think is in the 30s. So I think about like 40 episodes or so. So yeah, man, about 40 episodes of One Piece condensed into an 8 episode season. It ain't easy. And basically the nitpick was, I wish they had like some of the emotional moments that build up these characters were taken away, and it feels a little bit abrupt if you've watched the series. If you haven't watched the series, I don't think you'll notice it like that. But if you have, like for example, Usopp had a lot of moments in Syrup Village that were just taken away. But I understand it because it's TV, man. Like you can't put everything in TV, and then long form TV. But yeah, same with Sanji. Sanji had a lot of moments in the Baratie arc, but we can't do that because we don't have time. The whole freaking Don Krieg gone, Chocho, not his story. You know what I mean? Like this all these are more nitpicks because I'm a One Piece fan. I'd love to see everything get adapted, but that's just not possible. It's just not possible. So certain things had to be cut, and from what they cut and what they left in, I don't really have any complaints. Like, yeah, I would have liked to add stuff like the Chocho things, but are we really gonna add an extra like 30 minutes to see a dog get his house burnt? Like, you know what I mean? So I completely understand the changes. So I think those are like the well, no, not really criticism, nitpicks. over and done with, just gone to the side. But anyway, back to the Straw Hats. Yeah, I just straight up praise. Love all of them. Love all of them. All five. All five. Inaki's, Mackenyu, Emily, Taz, Jacob. All of them are killing it. Sorry, let me go one by one of what I like. Sorry. So Inaki, I think he just embodied Monkey D. Luffy perfectly. He's incredible. I think I can't wait to see what he does in the future, because what I know is he'll grow as he does more in the character. So the nitpicks I have for season 1, I doubt I'm gonna get them in season 2. I bet you he's gonna probably kill it in season 2. He's killing it already. But he'll kill it even more. I think the more we go, the more he'll become I think all 5 of these actors are gonna be stars. But I think Inaki, I think he's gonna impress us the more we go along this series, and I'm super excited to see him. Him and Emily. I'm excited for Emily as well, who's the second person I'm going to talk about as Nami. Emily as Nami was a weird one for me because she killed it, right? And when I first saw her as Nami, I was like, all right, you're Nami, right? It was all of them I actually did say, oh, you're this character. So it was very, I don't think I ever once, which is... Yeah, again, the casting director deserves a big praise, because I'm thinking about it. There wasn't a single character that was in this cast, there wasn't a single cast member in this show that I didn't believe was the character from the original anime. Not one. Everyone killed it. And yeah, I don't want to waste too long, because I swear I'll probably be stuck here for ages, and I've gone 16 minutes in and I'm still on characters. I haven't even talked about the rest of the things. So let me try and do this as quickly as possible, because I've been on tangents and stuff. Inaki is Luffy, killed it, right? Emily, Nami, killed it. But my nitpick was, even though I believed her as Nami because she was a great actor, I didn't know if not because of her. Yet again, this is more of a, not a director choice. I would say more of a writing choice. The way Nami was written in this season, it makes sense based off what Nami is going through in Arlong Park, and so that's why I can't really say anything negative towards about how Nami was. I just feel like it was different to see a different Nami. That's basically what it was, different. Not really a bad thing, it was different. And the reason why I say it was a little bit different is because when you see Nami in the anime, Nami is very smiley, like she's very, what's the word? She's very mischievous, which she is in the live action series. But I would say in the anime, it's very obvious that she's mischievous. I don't know how to describe it, but it's something. It's the way Nami is, if that makes sense. And the way Emily Rudd played her, I was like, okay, you're Nami, but you're a more reserved version of that type of Nami. You see what? Okay, that's the word I'll use. Reserved version of that type of Nami, which took me out of the loop for a second. I was like, whoa, is this Nami? But then after a while, I got used to it, and I was like, oh, actually, no. You're Nami. Especially as you go, it was more of an episode 1 thing. Past episode 1, I was like, oh, you're Nami. You're Nami. And then by the time we get episode 8, I was like, yo, play Nami forever. Dude, by the time Emily Rudd hit episode 8, she earned Nami, bro. She earned Nami. Nami's hers forever, man. She absolutely earned it, and she killed it. Same with Mackenyu. Mackenyu was Zoro from the jump. As soon as Mackenyu came on screen, I already knew, Zoro was my favorite character anyway. As soon as he came on screen, I was like, yo, you might become one of my favorite actors in the future, man. Because, dude, flipping killed it. I have he flipping killed it. Yet again, granted, I can't really say this for everybody because I feel bad, but it's a line everything. It's really, really small. It's only a couple of times, and yet again, they killed their line deliveries. It's just once in a while. I feel like the director should have once in a while been like, hey, you know what I mean? Just here and there. That's all. Yeah, so moving on, moving on, we've got Jacob as Usopp. Jacob as Usopp impressed me, because the thing about Usopp, Usopp is a very, I wouldn't say he's divisive, because everybody likes him, but people usually either like him and are like, but he can be annoying, or they love him. I love him, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if before I saw the show, obviously, I was a bit worried that people might see Usopp and be like, oh, you're a little annoying. Because Usopp gets scared a lot and it gets a bit annoying. But Jacob played that off so well, whereby it's not annoying that he's like, let's go out, let's go and hide, or let's go and back to the ship. It never felt annoying for him to be, not cowardly, because Usopp is a cowardly person, but what's the word? I would say he felt more, precautious than cowardly in the live action series. And honestly, see, that's my positive I want to bring up. And this brings back to the Nami point with Emily, and even partly the Inaki Godi with Luffy. And maybe this is why the writers even wrote the way they did, and even why maybe the line delivery thing I might be wrong, is because these characters are more reserved version of the One Piece characters, and because they're cartoon characters, you can't literally bring a cartoon character to real life because they get annoying. And even the showrunners, they had a whole interview talking about how they casted Inaki, and they're like, yeah, Luffy, like, they had to get this right because Luffy could have been annoying. And I'm like, yeah, he could have been annoying, bro. So based off that, Jacob absolutely killed it as Usopp, because Usopp was not annoying at one point. At one point, and even me, when I watched the anime, I had points where I was like, ooh, Usopp, you're a little annoying, you know. But I love him. Don't get it twisted. But even me, I was like, man, stop this. You don't have to run from everything. You know what I mean? But dude, like, Jacob actually killed it as Usopp because he was scared, but he was black scared. You know what I mean? Like, he just felt to me like a black guy, like, being black. Like, dude, why are we in this situation? Let's go home. You know what I mean? Let's not run towards the danger. But, yeah. And then last but not least is Taz's Sanji. I loved him, man. Like, what impressed me the most is how Taz... he trained in Taekwondo and trained in cooking for this. That's dedication, man. That's an actor right there. And other than that, though, he absolutely killed it. Like, he embodied Sanji so well. I liked what they did with Sanji's character in terms of removing the perversion, like, make him like women, but make him not be too obsessed with women. Yeah, again, the whole point about turning it from cartoon to live action, like, they did a good job in terms of making sure that Sanji was likable, very likable. In fact, Sanji's a bit too likable now, because the problem is, like, I'm used to calling Sanji Lanji, you know? Like, Sanji, I can't call Taz Lanji. That's weird. Like, he's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he made me like Sanji way more than I thought I would like Sanji. And I like Sanji. I always thought Sanji was more like, to me, Sanji's like the adorable one. Like, out of all the Straw Hats, out of the five, let's talk about the five mainly. I would say Luffy's the happy-go-lucky one, Zoro's the cool one, Nami's the mischievous one, Usopp's the scared one, and then Sanji's the Sanji, you know what I mean? So that's why I was a bit like, it was shocking to see him be cool, you know what I mean? Like, just, oh, you're cold. Like, he's, okay, granted, early One Piece Sanji was cool, to be fair. Early One Piece Sanji was cool, but I don't know, maybe it's me and I'm used to Sanji now, and I'm seeing him, like, get beat up by, like, women left, right, and center, but it's just, but I loved him as Sanji, and all five of these Straw Hats, man, I want all these actors to play the Straw Hats as long as possible, because the chemistry is clear to see. They all embody the characters so well, and I really love them, and I think they're all incredible actors. I feel like in the future, we're going to see them, like, I wouldn't be surprised if all five of them become A-listers, to be honest with you, because they're all talented, and I just want them to, honestly, I just want, what's the word? I just want success for them, man. I just want all the success. All the success. Even if you want to ignore my criticism, ignore it, man. Bro, you're doing well. Continue doing you. But, that's enough about the characters, because to be honest with you, the characters kind of sell One Piece. If you don't get the Straw Hats right, you don't get One Piece right. But let's move on to the other characters, and I'll probably kind of speed round it because I don't want to be here too long, and I don't want this podcast to be going too long. But I'll save my favorite for last. But first off, right, Morgan Davis as Kobe killed it. I loved it. I loved him as Kobe. I would say it was interesting to see Morgan as Kobe because I was trying to figure out how they're gonna do the kid, like, because I was trying to figure out how they're gonna do the kid Kobe, because we all know Kobe grows to be a man, right? But the problem is, like, the way he's drawn as a kid and a man is completely different. So I was like, are they gonna get like a small boy for this part, or are they gonna like get a scrawny boy for this part? I don't know how they do it. They got Morgan, and it just made sense. It made sense. It was just like, all right, fair enough, makes sense. And it was interesting to see the fact that that Kobe got more back to story than I thought, but it made sense because we all know. I mean, if you're a One Piece fan, you know that Kobe is more or less the endgame villain for Luffy. Well, kind of the endgame. I wouldn't say he's the villain, but you know what I mean? He's a very big, important, prominence. He's based. I personally think that he's meant to be the surrogate Garp, like how Garp caught Gold Roger, Kobe will catch Luffy, kind of like that. So that's why. So we all know he's gonna go through the whole series, especially with bits and bobs where He pops up in times with Hala. I forgot how to say his name. Jalapeno, or I always forget how to say this guy's name. Brother with the bob cut. You know who I'm talking about. But they come up bits and times in the show and the One Piece story, because they're showing their growth as they go through. So it makes sense that they got time in the Navy, because it allows us, or the Marines, sorry, it allows us to get more time in the Marines. But I understand the main reason why it seemed like the showrunners said that Luffy, them lot needed a constant threat. And Smoker isn't here yet. So I get why Garp had to be that constant threat, or the Marines had to be there at least. Because I get it. Like, you need someone to chase these Straw Hats, man. Smoke is coming, though. Don't worry. That is done, because Smoke is coming, man. Don't worry. Smoker. Don't worry, man. But yeah, so all in all, yeah, I liked Kobe. I liked the expansion on the Marines. It was weird. It did feel a bit like live actiony, because live action adaptations, they always do like some random thing that they add and expand, and you're like, whoa, that was weird. It's like Beauty and the Beast with like Gaston or something. But with this one, yeah, I was cool with it, because yes, let people who have not watched One Piece at least understand more about the Navy, and if not, let us who have watched One Piece see more about what Kobe was doing in the time where he wasn't with Luffy. I like it. So speaking of that, Garp killed it. The actor who played Garp killed it. I love his Scottish accent too. Oh, that's another thing. Accents. Oh man, flipping. Oh man, I love how international this show is, because it makes sense. It's One Piece. You're going on a grand journey and an adventure to many different lands. It makes sense that you'll have characters casting voices from different countries, different parts of the world. So there were a lot of British accents. I think it's a British studio that even did One Piece. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but there are a lot of British accents. You'd hear Scottish accent, you hear South African accents, because they filmed in South Africa. I was like, yeah, man, like, keep this energy. Keep this up in One Piece. Keep this up in the live action, please. And I hope more anime live actions does what One Piece has done, because it's lit, man. I mean, seeing Yasop be black. I mean, oh man, seeing Arlong be black. Like, dude, like, so many cool things here. Jinbei better be black, by the way. Jinbei has to be black. I'm assuming Brook is gonna be black too, but Jinbei has to be black. Like, Jinbei has to be black, right? Surely, right? But sorry. So we still have more characters to talk about. Mihawk killed it. His action scene was literally live action anime. I couldn't believe they did that so well. I couldn't believe it. But Mihawk scene, fire. Mihawk, fire. Shanks, fire. Who else was there? Oh, there's a big one. I know who everyone's thinking about. I'm saving him for later. But other than that, I mean, the actress who played Nojiko, great. The actress who played Kaya, great. Oh my god, the actor who played Kuro. This is when I knew this show was like a One Piece fan's love, like, dream, right? When the actor for Kuro came in and did this, I was like, no way. I was like, you're telling me, like, oh my god, this is. I was like, no, this is perfect. And when I saw this, I was like, this is perfection. This is perfection. Because like, One Piece is so weird, man, and that's what we love about it. We love the weirdness and the creativeness and the and the stupidity. No, not stupidity, but the weird, the fun of One Piece. We love it, and One Piece is very much creative, Alice in Wonderland-y vibe. I love that, and I love the fact that they were able to translate that so well in the anime. And Kuro doing that alone just warmed my heart. But we'll talk more about the world in a bit. Sorry, literally, as soon as I'm done with, I only have Lim left. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room, right? Buggy the Clown. Oh, sorry, no, I forgot about Arlong. Arlong was good. Arlong was very good. And I love the fact he was black too. Whoever the actor who played Arlong, he low-key killed it, because there was no point where Arlong came in and thought I didn't think he wasn't menacing. He came in, he was menacing all the way through. Bro, even when he was doing when my guy was getting lit on the chair, he was still a little menacing. I'm joking, I'm sorry. But in all honesty, yeah, I was surprised how Arlong the Fishman worked well as well in this show. And how the act, I think that's a testament to good acting, because the actors will all come in, kill it, be wearing the weirdest stuff, and it still makes sense. Like, even Garp's actor, when he came in with Garp's Garp's thing, and I forgot his dog hat thing, came in, no one reacted. And he just acted as normal. And the fact, I even deeped that, because when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, I didn't even like it didn't like I didn't notice that. You know what I mean? I didn't point that out. This man is wearing a dog hat, and he's the vice admiral of the navy, and that's his introduction. How am I not pointing that out? You know what I mean? And testament to great actors who just kill it in these roles and just embody these characters, which I'm coming up to the big one. And we'll talk about the world in a bit, but it's testament to the world as well and the world building that Oda's done and how they've been able to translate that. So yeah, last but not least, Buggy the Clown. Let's address it because Jeff Ward is Buggy the Clown, best character in the show. Best character in the show, easy. And this is why it surprised me the most. Yes, I like Buggy. Buggy's a fool, and that's the point. Like we like how Buggy's stupid and how Buggy just I don't know how he fails upwards all the time. It's the funniest thing of One Piece. Honestly, it's one of the funniest things. So especially Marineford, Buggy. Oh my god, let me not even think about that. But Alex, oh man, season, please go all the way to Marineford. I'm begging you, Netflix, please. But but Jeff Ward, man, what he did right was he came in and he acted his ass off because when I first saw Buggy in the trailer, I was like, ooh, and it wasn't like a bad ooh. It was more like a ooh, this is weird because Buggy is a clown, you know, like Buggy the Clown in One Piece live action. It just, ooh, like it just didn't, ooh. It was a hard sell. It was what I would say. But I said, you know what? I'll wait until I watch it to figure it out, right? To see if it was that hard of a sell. Then the end of episode 1 comes in and the music drops. And I was like, oh my God, what? And Buggy the pose. He does the pose. And oh my God, Jeff Ward's first lines were... That's what sold me on Buggy. The first couple seconds at the end of episode 1 sold me on Buggy. When Jeff Ward says, what was it called? They come in, he goes, that's my map. I will get it back. Oh, like just that alone sold me on Buggy. I was like, yo, you're gonna be a menace, aren't you? And then Jeff Ward just acted his ass off. He just had fun with the character, and that's what you're meant to do with Buggy. Buggy's not meant to be a serious character like that. He's the fool of One Piece, and I'm looking forward to see more from him as Buggy. And I have a feeling. I mean, granted, he was used more. Buggy was used. How do I explain this? Buggy had more screen time than he actually is meant to be in One Piece. Well, I don't know if that's technically true because if you add up all the time that Buggy was on screen in the Orange Town arc compared to the time in the anime, maybe it's comparable. But compared to the live action, sorry, maybe it's comparable. But keep it up, Jeff. Jeff, you absolutely killed it, and well done. You actually like people like Jeff coming in and just killing it and just having fun with these characters is what sells the viewers on these crazy weird characters. So well done for that, man. Sorry, I spent like 30 minutes talking about characters, man. And that's what I mainly love about the show is the characters. But we need to talk about some big things because if it wasn't for these things, I wouldn't think the show would be as good as it is. And that's the set design. The set design is out of this absolute world. One thing I was saying to my cousin was that the reason why I think One Piece is working so well is that they didn't just rip the anime and put it into live action or the manga, or they kind of had their own vibe. It felt like watching the show felt like I was watching something in Alice in Wonderland. It felt like I was coming into a new world, very vibrant, but it wasn't like it was over the top, but it wasn't too cartoony, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe that with words, but that's basically how I'm trying to say it. And because of that, I feel like it was easier to believe this world. Granted, in the first couple seconds, we see a boy made of rubber just stretch his arms and stuff. So I guess if you weren't trying to believe this weird ass world already, especially with Albeda's ship, I don't know when you were gonna believe it then. But yeah, like set design is crazy because I think what was the best set I would say the Marine like the Captain Morgan's base was one very good set. Like I liked the layout of how his base was. Also, I would say a lot of the Marine stuff was very good. But actually, no. Kaya's Mansion might take the cake. Or the Baratier. One of those two. Those sets was... Like, all the sets were insane, but those two especially were crazy. Kaya's house... I don't think we got to Kaya's house. So Kaya's house was crazy. So, yeah. The music as well was absolutely fire, man. The music was... I'll actually... yeah, it was fire. Because... like the music, some of it was different, I'll admit. They had one track that if you're watching this now, you know what track it is. But which honestly, when that track played, I nearly cried. I won't lie. I nearly cried when the track played. It's We Are of You. You already knew that, but I nearly cried. But my favorite theme is Zoro's theme. Oh, Zoro's theme is so cold. I love all the themes. Like Nami's theme fits her. Usopp's theme fits him. But Zoro's theme, I mean, it fits him. But Zoro's theme, oh man, dun, 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 dun. Oh man, so good, so damn good. The action was absolutely fire, and this is what happens when you get actors who can actually like do action, like Makenyu. Makenyu was I'll admit he's a lot of the action. Granted, Aninaki, but Makenyu's action was, oh man, you could tell like this man, he's skilled. He's a martial artist. So I'm like, yeah, you got that unlocked, and thank you for hiring Makenyu for Zoro, because he just made the action scenes a lot better, especially the bar fight. Like I've watched that over and over. Those are some sick action scenes, bro. Marvel can take some notes from the action scenes from One Piece. I'm gonna be real. On top of that, we've talked about Taz, and we talked about how Taz learned Taekwondo. Taz killed it with his action scenes. Like when Sanji starts fighting, you're like, woo, these kicks are sick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, these kicks are lit. But overall, even if they're not like kicking and slicing, the set piece like for the action themselves were also cool. Like in the first episode, especially when it was Luffy, Zoro, Nami versus Captain Morgan and his crew. That whole set piece was just beautiful, man. It felt like something that you ripped off like an anime or something. So thank you so much. And that's what I'm excited to see in the future. I'm excited to see how they elevate the set pieces of these fights, because these fights are going to get even crazier, and they're probably going to start reducing, like they're gonna rework the fights, because obviously we can't have all 5 Straw Hats fighting 5 villains in 5 episodes. It's just not possible. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna change up these fights in the future. And last but not least, two more things. Last but not least, in terms of this, okay, 2 more things. First off, let's talk about this adaptation overall. Overall, as an adaptation, yeah, I think they absolutely killed it. I've already explained a lot of my points as to why during the whole 40 minutes we've been talking. But I will say that I like the fact that they were very, very faithful. They were super faithful, and they were very it was a lot of love letters this was a show that was a love letter towards fans. The fact that we saw Mr. Seven, the fact that Chocho came in even though he didn't have his own arc. Overall, man, it was just fantastic, and I am excited to see the future. I've already talked about how I like the accents and the world and how vibrant it is. I don't really have any nitpicks like that apart from just improve the line delivery in the future. Because, for example, I can't even the script is good. I can't believe I'm saying that the script is good for a live action anime adaptation. That is rare. That is rare. The script is good. It's just delivery of the script, that's all. But overall, man, so direction. So just improve direction a little bit, because there are some directed scenes that are actually really well directed. So I can't really blame the direction like that. Just improve it a little bit to get it from an 8 to a 9. That's about it. Overall, I'm excited for the future of this show. I'm excited for the seasons. I don't know. I wonder how Netflix is going to do this, because it's a lot of episodes and it's a lot of content. But I feel like what's going to happen is I'm expecting about 10 to 11 seasons of One Piece. That's my expectations, to finish the whole series. And I'm saying that you could probably hit Wano by 9 seasons. And you probably think I'm crazy for saying this, but the way they adapted this show and the way they've cut off filler, they cut off all the fluff. Like Dressrosa, for example, I think arcs like Dressrosa, Wano, that's a whole season. But arcs like, for example, Dressrosa, did I say, no, not Dressrosa, Alabasta, and Marineford, and Water 7. I'm expecting those to be mid-season type arcs. So it's going to be interesting to see the future of One Piece. Netflix already loves it. It's already making money, so they're probably going to get season 2. But that's pretty much it. I think that's all I've got to talk about in terms of One Piece, or else I'm going to be here for ages, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of have work to do. So thank you very much for watching this special episode of the Drop in 3 podcast. Did you like the One Piece Netflix adaptation? Did you not like it? And also, is there anything that you didn't like about what I said, or I liked about what I said? Let me know in the comment section. I'm open to discussion. Thank you very much for watching again. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more on the Drop in 3. Hopefully, we're going to be dropping more episodes. I'm not going to give you any promises as to when that's going to be. You'll just have to wait and see. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. All right.